everybody, my name is Ashley. Welcome to 3 Boys, 2 Girls. Today we have our 5th grade curriculum for our homeschool. This is Maddox. She's my helper. She's my 3rd grader. So there are some subjects that we are going to do together during our day. And the first one of those things is history. And we are doing Story of the World for history. Now when you order Story of the World, you will want to get the student pages and teacher's manual that comes with it. This is just the actual text, and how Story of the World works is it's actually history like in a novel form or in just a book form, story form.
And like you find these lines.
So it's in a story form, and so you will read just a section, and the sections are demarcated by this line, and then you will read a section, twice a week or 3 times a week, and then at the end of each chapter there will be activities for you to do. In the teacher's manual there's coloring pages, there's art activities, so crafts and that kind of stuff. So in that book lists everything that you need to do. There's also additional resources that you can check out from the library or from wherever. My book is actually at the print shop right now. I decided to have the spine of my book cut off, and then I had decided to separate the teacher's manual and the student text and then have them bound separately. It'll just be easier for me to make copies and have them separate. And so if I would suggest something for Story of the World, this is by Susan Wise Bauer, this is from the Well-Trained Mind, so it's like a lot of Charlotte Mason stuff, I think. But if I could suggest something, I would suggest that they just bind the teacher's manual and student text separately, because I think a lot of people do that. But anyway, that's what we're doing for history.
And then we are going to do this for science, and there is a teacher's manual.
Well, this is kind of the helps and hints, and then this is tests at the end as well. If you're a state that requires testing, requires you to hand in, any kind of work, then that would be great for you. We are lucky in South Dakota. We do not have to turn in all of that stuff. South Dakota is a great state to homeschool in. But this is the actual text, and this is by Dr. Jay Weil, and from what I understand, he's actually the creator of Apologia. So he knows what he's doing when he's creating these science programs. But he actually sold Apologia or left Apologia and then started this new series. And so in Apologia, how it works is that you do like one whole year on one thing, like astronomy or flying creatures or swimming creatures or anatomy, where this approach to the science is science based on the timeline of creation and from creation on. So this is science in the beginning. This is the first book in this series, and so this is the early creation days. So like we started last week actually, and we did do the first experiment in there, and it was the creation of light. And so we did some light experiments. Do you want to explain what we kind of did for the light experiments, Maddie?
Oh, we took a flashlight that was on our mom's phone, and we had a mirror. Somebody held the mirror and somebody held the phone, so they had to hold the phone still to the mirror, and then we tilted and
reflected the light, right?
All over the room, but it has to be dark when you do it.
Yep. So we just played. So basically, it started with the creation of light, and so we played with light and that kind of stuff. So the experiments are really easy, but they're still fun for the kids to do, and they're using household items. You're not going to spend a lot of money buying the ingredients for the experiments. It's just all basically household items. And how it is separated, that if you do need a little bit more time to get some items, they actually have a list materials that might take some time to get in there, so they actually list those materials out for you so that you know to look forward to those days and get those materials. The next thing that we're going to be doing all together is the story starters. And so sometime, I think on Fridays, we're going to have kind of a fun Friday. We're going to be doing just some writing activities and just some poetry. We're going to do poetry tea time. But what story starters is it is basically, these are all unfinished stories. So every story has a picture in it, and then you go through and you just kind of read a story, look at the picture, and then the students finish the story. And so that allows them to use their imagination. And my 5th grader will actually be writing his down in, we have a notebook for his free writing. And so he will be actually writing his down. He will be doing it in cursive. And so my 3rd grader will be writing hers down, but she is just learning cursive this year, so she will not be having to write her answers in cursive. So the last subject that we're going to be doing together is geography, and for that we are doing Road Trip USA, and this is from Confessions of a Homeschooler. It's a very reasonable price for a geography curriculum. I mean, this is a huge binder full of printed off stuff. And so this is the teacher's manual. It also comes with student manuals that you can print off as well. So I printed one off for my 5th grader and then one off for my 3rd grader. And my kindergartner and preschool are just going to kind of follow along with us. They're going to learn the song. We learned the capitals and states song. So they're going to be doing that with us as well. For math, we are doing Matthew C. And so he's in Delta. When we took the placement tests, both of the kids placed that they should go back just a little bit. So he is doing single and multiple digit division. He is just flying through this. We just started last Monday, and so we've done 5 days of school, and he has already completed lesson 5. So he is literally doing one lesson a day, which, if you know Matthew C, how it usually works is you'll do one lesson a week is usually how it works. So the first day of the lesson, you're going to watch your DVD, and then you do worksheet A, and then the second day you do worksheet B, the third day you do worksheet C, and then if you've mastered that lesson within those 3 worksheets, then you go ahead and move on to the next lesson. There's no sense in doing the rest of the worksheets. A, B, and C are lesson practice. Worksheets D, E, and F are systematic review, so they're going to be reviewing that lesson as well as lessons previous to that lesson. And then there actually is an enrichment and applications page that usually is pretty fun, like coloring stuff in, figuring out the equations and then coloring in the appropriate boxes. So it actually does look pretty fun, but I have just let my son just go for it. If he is comfortable, I've corrected his work usually every day, and he has been doing 3 worksheets a day. So he has been doing A, B, and C each day. I correct them. He's gotten 100%. Again, we're doing single and multiple digit division, and so he's really beyond this. And so I knew that he would fly through this really fast. I wasn't expecting him to fly through it that fast, but he's doing really good. And so I know that once we get towards the end with a long division, I think that we'll slow down just a little bit. But he's really good at doing the single digit stuff. So that's where we're at with that. His level, Delta, actually does come with tests. So this is the test booklet. So if you are in a state that requires testing, this is great. You can hand in this for proof or whatever you need to do. So for art, we are doing Artistic Pursuits. This is elementary 4 and 5, book 1. I believe there's book 2 as well at this level. But this is comprehensive, hang on. This is elements of art and composition. So he is going to be studying lines and form. So we're working on elements of art. You can kind of see that stuff there, line, value, and form. And so, for instance, the first lesson is just looking at the shading, looking at the lines, all that kind of stuff. And then they always have a try it thing at the bottom. Down here you can see there's try it, and then I'll give them an opportunity. There are enough lessons in this book for you to do 2 classes a week for about an hour. And so that's about what we'll do. We actually we started last week, but we did not actually do art because we actually did not have all of our art supplies in, and so they should be in next week, and so we can start with this. Next up for him on his independent subjects is handwriting, and so we are doing a reason for handwriting. He's on level E, and he's just working on his cursive. I actually really like this. What he does throughout the week is every lesson is broken up into day 1 through 4, and then on the 4th day they actually practice writing a whole lesson. And then in the back here there are blank pages that he will choose one blank page to rip out and then copy.
Okay.
We got a surprise visitor. This is my 5th grader. This is Bennett.
Yeah, you're talking about my book.
Yeah, I'm doing this one right now actually. Yep, and then did I introduce my 3rd grader?
Yes.
My 3rd grader Maddox? I'm not sure. But these are my 2 oldest. So on day 5, he will choose one of the pages in the back, one of the free writing pages, and then he will copy down the Bible verse in full on that free page. And it gives suggestions like sending it to somebody in a card
or just rhymes, right?
What?
Not just Bible verses?
No, they're all Bible verses.
Oh.
No, yeah, they're all Bible verses. But or you could give them to a nursing home or something. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna do any of that, or make a placemat for yourself at the table. But I don't know if we really need 30 placemats.
Yeah.
So.
But that's
for my 5th grader for language arts. Handwriting is kind of language arts too, but we decided to not really do a writing curriculum or a reading curriculum. We decided to just have him read a lot every week. And so, but we did also add in grammar. And so for grammar, we are doing Fix It Grammar. And how this works is every week, you have a certain lesson of something that you're going to work on. And then every day of that week for days 1 through 4, you are going to correct one sentence of a book. And so we are doing the nose tree. And so they will go through and correct the sentence. Then every bolded word, every day you have 1 bolded word, vocab words. And so he will take that vocab word, look it up in an actual dictionary, and then in the back of another notebook, he will write that vocab word and the definition. And then after we've gone over his correction of the sentence, he will rewrite that sentence in the front of that same notebook. And so by the end of these lessons, he will have rewritten the entire book of the nose tree. And I thought that was really cool. I think it's more interesting to work towards that goal of rewriting and correcting a whole entire book than working on random sentences, I think, throughout the week. So I think when we're done, it'll be such an accomplishment to have rewritten an entire book. And so I'm really excited about that. But the last thing that he has for his curriculum is his reading. And like I said, we have just chosen to read a ton of books. And so I have picked out a couple of them, and he's picked out a lot of them. And honestly, if he just reads Harry Potter or Percy Jackson all year, as long as he's reading, I guess I'm not really going to be picky on the grade levels. If you watched our Why We Homeschool video, we have had just issues. My kids just don't like to read. This is our first year homeschooling, and throughout public school, they have just learned to hate reading. I'm not sure what happened. So I just want them to pick out books that they want to read, and I want them to learn how to enjoy reading and be interested in stories and how the stories are adventures and can take them places. So I'll just kind of go through some books that we have chosen to read, well, that we've picked out, and then he's actually already read one book last week. Our goal is to do about one book a week, but you know, depending on the size. But so we have in our books, we have the entire Lightning Thief Percy Jackson series, My Side of the Mountain, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I'm gonna have him start with this one because I feel like, I don't know, it's most exciting. The Sign of the Beaver, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. And all of these books, you guys, I've literally gotten at secondhand stores, Goodwills, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I did not spend full price for any of these. We actually have a literacy program in our community that they are a bookstore, and so they have great book sales, and so I just shop deals, you guys. None of these books are brand new, except for this one because he chose this for his birthday book, The Silver Eyes, Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know. He wanted it, and if it gets him interested in reading, I don't know. But Journey to the Center of the Earth, Kidnapped, Robert Louis Stevenson, The Year of Miss Agnes, Up Chuck Summer, I Am the Iceworm, Fever 1793, and From the Mixed Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. Again, this is just a sample of them. We have a good mix of literary kind of novels, like literature stuff, and then we have the fun stuff, like the Percy Jackson, and I think he might even have Harry Potter out, or he wanted to read that out loud. I'm not really sure, but every week he will just choose a book in whatever book it is. I will just kind of divide it up into 5 days of reading, and then he will go through that every day. He doesn't, if it's a longer book, it doesn't necessarily have to be 5 days. That's just kind of our goal. I'm sure there will be some books that we can get through faster than a week, and then there might be some that take longer. So, but that is what I have for my 5th grader, you guys. Thanks for watching. How's homeschool going so far, guys?
It doesn't even feel like school.
Oh, well, that's good.
And I want you to get the prizes.
So
well, I feel like it's better because
you can do it whenever. You can do it early in the morning, and you can do it late at night.
There's these other people that like camp and like travel around the world, and they do homeschooling.
Yeah.
So like our grandparents have a place out at the Missouri River, right? The Missouri River?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, the Missouri River. So we can just go out there and then set up our thing, and then we can do our homeschool there. We can go to the Black Hills, if you know we live in South Dakota.
and whenever we want, we can go to our uncles in Madison, and
Joey?
Or go to Colorado.
Or go to Colorado.
Yeah, or go to Colorado with our aunt. She lives in Colorado.
Yeah.
She's going to be moving soon.
We hope.
And our uncle got an interview. On Wednesday, he got an interview.
You're just spilling all the beans. Just like telling the whole world. Like all our secrets are just like, don't put a 3rd grader in front of the camera because all your secrets will come out.